Okay, we are live. What's up, everybody? We're not dropping frames. That's good. I got a bunch of windows open too. I need to close them. Hey, Debbie. Okay, I've got the grow open. We could show that. Maybe. Hey, Nick. Hey, Michael. What's up, guys? How's it going? Let's pull up the grow here. There it is. Okay, great. You guys can do your check in on that. Hey, Josh, what's up? So, yeah, I got up early, man. I'm starting to get on this gardener schedule. It just happens. I don't mean to do it. I go to sleep early or late, and I wake up 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning now. Hey, bees. So that just kind of happens to me this time of year, you know. When I'm growing, I get on this automatic schedule. Half day done, gone in Virginia. It's 9:30 in the morning, bro. What's up, Jerry? Okay, so what's up, bees? Hey, buddy. Hey. Is that Harles? I'm not getting a chat number, so I'm going to refresh the chat. Typical. Okay, great. There it is. There's my number of people here. Fantastic. It feels like it's going to be warm already, man. It's only 60 degrees outside, but it feels warm in the house. It feels like it's going to be warm outside. How often or when do you use compost tea? Jerry, the more you use it, the better off you are. You should use it every day if you can. You can't overuse it. So that's the beautiful thing about compost, is you can't overdo it. It's just microbes. So just use it as often as you can. If you could water every day with compost tea, I would say do it. 3 times a day. It is the healthiest thing you can put on your plants. Yeah, it's a good question. Now, my soil is a compost soil. It doesn't mean I shouldn't be using compost tea, but every time I pour water in the soil, it's kind of like putting compost tea in there, you know. But I do want to add that, and we do have compost tea in the grow. Actually, you can see it there. Those 2 olive barrels. The one on the left is compost tea. And these people that brew compost tea and they tell you it's only good for 24 hours, they don't understand how microbes work. You'll hear that a lot. You'll hear it all over the internet. 24 hours, and then your compost tea is dead. Listen, those people have no idea what they're talking about. I've literally left compost tea over a year and used it and just added more water. It's fine, dude. I don't know who these idiots are that put that out on the internet, that compost tea is only good for 24 or 48 hours, but it's not true. Yeah, all I'm doing is this. Hey, man, there's microbes in the water. What's killing them? Oh, that's right. Nothing. Why would they die? No reason. They've got oxygen. They've got water. They've got food. They're surviving. They're producing. They're making more. Full compost grow? Right on, Jerry. It should turn out really good. I think you're going to be really happy with growing organically. Yeah, the plants do really well, man. Every kind of plant. So the next time you hear someone say, make sure to use your compost tea within 24 or 48 hours, say to them, why? Why can't I use it in 72 hours? Why can't I use it in a week? Why can't I use it 6 months after I make it? Why? Oh, because the microbes will all die. Really? You mean the microbes that just suddenly introduce themselves into the water, they're just going to die all of a sudden? Why? That doesn't even make sense. Why would it just stop living? Oh, because time. It's time passes, and when the time passes, the microbes die off. Oh yeah, is that science? Is that your fucking science working for you there? You know, I think about a lake. I think about a pond. I think about a pothole that's full of water. Well, certainly there might be microbes in there. Do they die off in the first 24 hours? Of course not. Organic grow? That's right. There's no need, if you're full organic, there's no need to flush. Flushing's for noob bitches. I mean, if you're flushing, you don't know how to grow. Period. Yo, you flush? Oh, you don't know how to grow. Okay. You're doing it wrong. Yeah, the microbes get tired. They're like, we only work for 24 hours and then we don't reproduce, you know, and we don't make more. We're just one shot, one microbe per 24-hour section, and then we die off. It just didn't do this for me, man. It didn't sound right. I was like, isn't that like natural? You know, microbes being produced? Doesn't that happen naturally? Doesn't that occur naturally in lakes? If microbes die after 24 hours, then how do kids go in lakes and get an amoeba and die from getting an amoeba in their brain? Oh, well, I thought that microbe would have been dead after fucking 24 hours. No, man, it's the stupidest reasoning. And there's a lot of dumb reasoning in the cannabis industry and in just cannabis lore, things like that. And people just do what they've been told, you know, because you don't know any better. It's tradition. And sometimes tradition is stupid. You know what else was tradition? Slavery. Did that make it right? No. Hey, Callie. Plants are looking gorgeous, as you can see. Have you a look-see right there? There they are. Just getting their little starts. So we'll see how they do this year. It looks like 2 or 3 of them went into flower. So that's going to slow them down. Hopefully they will pop out of that and go back into veg. But man, that is bad that they went, you know, two or three of them. They went right in. 2 nights of fucking darkness was all it took to trigger them, man. I didn't have the lights out there quick enough. And there's no telling how much darkness they were sitting in with Mark, too. I mean, he probably had them, you know, sitting in the dark as well. So, yeah, 2 of them, they pretty much look like they've gone into flower at all the tops. 2 of them, it's not fucking good, man. You do not want that. Uh, so hopefully, man, the lights, we got them on quick enough, and they'll. Are they seedlings or clones? I would think clones. Uh, my diesel. So, yeah. So compost tea, I've got a whole thing of it out there. I should start using it actually. It's been sitting there for over a year. It's fine. It's got air. I'm sure it's full of microbes. How do you properly make a clone? That's kind of a long, involved conversation. It's just yeah, I can't just tell you how to clone right on here like that. You got to see it. But you take a cutting off the plant, preferably from lower down on the plant, because the lower it is to the ground, the quicker they produce roots. Yeah, Alien Overlord came out great. Yeah, I hope so, Kelly. It's they're not fully in flower, but I am seeing some hairs. And it is OG Kush, but hopefully we'll see. Tomorrow will be more of a telling day, I guess, to see what kind of growth they're in, what growth stage. But I'm keeping the lights on at night now. They've been on. The lights have been on for 3 nights in a row. And I'm making sure to do it, even when I don't feel like doing it. I just can't believe how quick they flipped, man. You know, it's like when you want them to flip and you put them in 12 and 12, and it takes like fucking weeks before you start seeing fucking hairs, it seems. And then when you don't want them to flip and they're in 12 and 12 for 2 days, and you get fucking flowers on every goddamn bulb, and you're just like, dude, really? It's fucking frustrating. Are you tricking your plants? Yes, I am tricking my plants. How's Mama's what? Tell her we miss her? What? Callie, who are you talking about? Yeah? It's just like Murphy's Law, man, you know? Why the fuck? Why do you flip so easily when I don't want you to flip? And then when I want you to go into flower, you take fucking 2 weeks. Oh, man. I hope this isn't a bad sign for the start of this grow, man. I just hope these motherfuckers flip right back into veg. Because we need to veg them because we got such a late start, in my opinion. You know, a lot of people haven't even started yet, but for me, I know I should. These plants should have been this big in January. You know, I like to get an early start, man. What can I say? It's possible to do, and I like to do it. You know, it helps a little bit. Yes, they're on a timer, and it's we call it flow irrigation. I invented this thing called flow irrigation years ago. It's not drip. It pours water on the plants, and it pours a whole lot, man. My flow irrigation, I put it up against anybody's irrigation system in the world. My plants get so big, so happy, so fast. I love flow irrigation, man. All you need is a spigot and a timer, and then you use 2 manifolds and some garden hose and the little things that you put on the end of a garden hose so you can screw it in, because you got to cut sections of garden hose to the right size, and then you put these custom connectors on them. Hey Sean, what's up, buddy? My thoughts on aquaponics outdoor setups? I don't know, bro. I've never seen one. All right. I have got that orange bud ready to go. Well, let's just see what these do this year. They're way behind my normal schedule. So, you know, you don't want to leave them in veg for too long. But at the same time, last year's plants grew too big, and they were up against the plastic, and I got mold against some of them that did that. So it'll be more advantageous to not actually have them up against the plastic this year. Right? They look healthy, man. They're looking good. Ah, hope they fucking flip out of this goddamn flower bullshit. I was looking at them and I was like, man, are those hairs coming out of the top of that plant? Fuck. Fuck, fuck, fuck. 2 goddamn nights of darkness, maybe. It may have been 2 nights. I can't remember. I know we didn't get it on the first night, but the second day, did I put the lights out there? Maybe. I can't believe one night did that. So it's very possible that Mark was not keeping them in the light, and that he triggered that. And by the time they got here, they were just ready to go into flower, you know. But the one plant that Rogie ripped the top off of, that one doesn't seem to have any flower on it. The other 2 plants that are down there, I don't see any hairs on them. That's good. It really seems to be mine, the ones that are closer to the camera, these 3 that are showing more hairs. It looks nice down there, doesn't it? No weeds. You guys remember last year where it was all weeds all around all the pots and shit? Oh, it's so nice and rocky and clean out there now. Hey, Tina. Hey, Kat. No. Worst case scenario, bro, your plants get stolen and you get nothing. That's worst case scenario. Worst case scenario, a fire comes through your property and burns your house down and your grow. That's worst case scenario. A shitty yield, that's not worst case. Bro, if you think a shitty yield is worst case scenario in a grow, you don't know growing, bro. There's a lot worse that can happen besides a shitty yield. You can get completely riddled with bugs. You can get mold. Fucking, you could have a flood. You know? Your plants could break. A tree could fall on them. You name it. You know? You get bud rot. You could get aphids. You could get fucking spider mites, man. You get completely wrecked and wiped out. I don't grow. Is that what you're trying to say? I don't grow. You live in North Carolina? Well, you should move the fuck out of North Carolina if that's what's stopping you from growing. Get the fuck out of that shit state. They don't deserve your tax dollars. They don't let you grow your own cannabis? Are you fucking kidding me? That's fucking psychotic. You realize that there are states in the same country that you live in where you're allowed to do that, right? I don't know, man. Some people just need to be talked to like that sometimes, I guess. You do realize that you could be growing your own cannabis right now. North Carolina. Sounds like fucking Nazi Germany to me. Is the N in North Carolina for Nazi? Nazi Carolina? You cleaned it up so well. Thank you, Debbie. Hopefully Rogie wasn't punished, Sean. No, I don't fucking punish a dog for being a dog. Is that what you do, Sean? You're gonna punish an animal because you're a fucking moron? Is that how you treat animals, bro? Listen, the top of that plant got bitten off because Mark's a fucking idiot. It's not the dog's fault. It's the human being's fault. Don't blame the fucking dog, Sean. Are you fucking kidding me? God, that fucking pisses me off that you even insinuated that. It was somehow the dog's fault. And he should be punished. Really? What? Hit him? Should I hit the fucking dog, Sean? Is that what you think I should do? Well, you're fucking suggesting it. For your fucking behavior, you should punish a dog because you're an idiot? You never do? Oh, well, it sounds like you're wondering why Rogie wasn't. You certainly floated it out there. You know, your dog bites the top off of one of your fucking cannabis plants. Fucking punch yourself in the face. You're the fucking idiot. Don't blame the dog, Sean. Hopefully Rogan wasn't too harshly punished. What? Dude, you just pissed me the fuck off, man. God damn, what a dumb thing to say. You know, don't ever punish an animal because you're a fucking idiot. Roger's getting bad sound. You remember that, Sean. You don't fucking punish a dog because you're a fucking moron. You know? I hope Rogan wasn't too harshly punished. Fuck, dude. That's a fucked up thing to say. I love my dog, bro. The only time he ever gets corrected is when he fucking bites me, which has only happened twice. Sean isn't very bright, says Nick. Well, no, Sean is pretty bright. He just said something that was pretty stupid, that's all. He just said something stupid, man. Punish a dog because you're an idiot. God. You know, if anything, Mark should have been fucking punished. I did. I yelled at him, too. I was like, well, what do you fucking expect, Mark? You left your goddamn plants on the ground right in front of the dog. Yeah, he's going to eat them. In fact, he's lucky all he got was the very top of it. Rogie could have grabbed that whole motherfucker, man. He's like, ooh, fresh greens. My dogs can do no wrong. Right on. Good, Sean. Me call us, says Sean. Matthew T. Hill says batter. Did you say batter? I love it. All right. Cheers. All of you guys that are sharing this, thank you guys. Cheers. I don't mean to make you guys feel uncomfortable on a Sunday morning. Let's just chill. Sorry. Sean, you reminded me of that line. Every time Grandma farts, we beat the dog. Adam, what's up? Oh my God, that must have been the first hit of the day. I was not mentally prepared for that. Adam! Did I give you that little piece of wood that I found up? I gave you that, right? I'm kind of curious what you did with that thing. Did you give it to your kids? Pretty day out. Robin, yes, it's near your front door. Oh, cool, bro. Robin Bloom Heyman. Who's Robin Heyman, Adam? Is that a friend of yours that you want to check out the show? If I got pissed every time. They don't hunt in the wild. They come to the city now 24/7. Why is Robin's name coming up? You typed it in the chat, Adam? You typed in Robin Bloom Heyman in the chat, I guess. I don't know. My screen keeps buffering. Okay, I'm not dropping any frames, so might be something on your end. Is she in the audience, Robin? Is there someone named Robin, spelled with a Y, in the audience? How did I do that? I don't know. Maybe it's a glitch, bro. Angel, what's up, Angel? Good to see you, buddy. Angel's down to smoke. Angel's here for the cannabis action, aren't you? Aren't you, Angel? That was weird. Robin Bagnell spells her name that way too, Robyn, I believe. Very stylish. Angel's down to smoke. What's up? So, did anybody get a chance to check out Dr. Cushman on YouTube? Sorry, my screen buffered. That's okay, Sean. Nate, what did you do for work before you settled down? I owned a recording studio in Orlando. At first, I ran it out of my home, and then I moved it into a large recording studio. And you know what's funny is I don't know why I left there. I don't remember leaving that studio, moving out. Must have been because I was going to California, right? I don't remember. Oh, dude, did I get disconnected? Oh, you guys, I'm sorry. I didn't know I got disconnected. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. Oh, wow. The show went off and went back on again. I didn't even realize it, man. I wonder if I lost all my chatters here. Let me check the chat. Here we go. Here comes the hard facts, guys. And we're at 11. Okay, it said 17. 17 was nicer, but I'll take 11. 11's cool. I don't mind. I don't mind entertaining 11 people. Maybe the other people will come back. They'll realize, man, I didn't realize that I reset, bro. I didn't know what caused that. I don't think I was doing anything. But wait, you know what? I did see the camera reset. I saw the camera reset. I saw this camera reset, and it didn't occur to me that the whole system was rebooting. All right. Well, somebody else came back, so now we got 12 people. It buffered for a while. Yeah. Well, we lost the show, so all of the shares are now negated. So if you shared this video, it is now, thanks to the technology at Restream and the technology at Windows and the technology at YouTube and Facebook. You've yelled at them before. Oh, Sean. Hey, Nick. You're back, Dominic and Nick. Like I wouldn't notice Dominic and Nick. but because of the technology, they can't, I want to be an engineer. I want to be an engineer. Well, if you're such a great engineer, over there at Restream, why don't you engineer a method so that when I get disconnected from my shit internet while I'm podcasting, it'll retain the fucking live stream and keep that open until I can reconnect. Why can't you fucking do that? You guys have the connection open on your end. Just because I disconnect doesn't mean Restream should disconnect from all 15 of or 13 of the channels that I'm broadcasting to. If you're such a great engineer, turn that crap off. And these fucking morons that are spooling out videos from YouTube, you encounter a slow connection, and you want to buffer it. Why don't you stop, load the whole goddamn video for somebody, or at least enough for them to watch until the rest of it? And why can't you have a computer figure out how much to give them so that they can sit there and have a good, smooth streaming experience, you fucking idiots? Or here's a great idea. Take the bandwidth down all the way to 1 kilobyte. If you can't handle fucking 164 kilobytes or whatever, and you're losing the stream, so you're like, okay, it's not running that, we're going to cut the stream. How about take it all the way down to 1 kilobyte or 0.01 kilobyte? Yeah, so that way people don't just get disconnected. Yeah, they'll get distorted. They won't be able to hear and they won't be able to see, but they won't just get disconnected, and then it'll come back on, and they won't have to go seek out a new fucking video. I'm an engineer. Yeah, I'm an engineer. I work for YouTube. I'm shitless. I work for Windows 10. Yeah, I'm an engineer. You're doing nothing. You're getting nothing done. You're ruining shit. You're getting a paycheck every week to fuck my shit up. And I fucking hate you. Had a what the fuck moment. Okay, I feel a little better. But, I have to lose half of my audience every fucking day because of some stupid fucking glitch, and it's something different every time. Yesterday it was a USB. I was connecting my phone to USB. Today, just on a whim, my shit just decided to disconnect for no reason. I have no idea what it was. I don't know what it was this time. I wasn't dropping frames. It just disconnected the whole live stream. And my encoder reset. Why? Because, engineers, yeah, they're so great. Software engineers over there at fucking, at XSplit, yeah, they're so great. Restream, yeah. Windows 10, fucking YouTube, Facebook, all of them. Engineers, they're so great. They can't figure their own dicks out. If I didn't know better, I think they're fucking with you on purpose. I know, Sean, right? That's why I can't wait to get high-speed internet. That high-speed internet that Donald Trump promised us for 4 fucking years that we never got. Rural. All of America will have high-speed internet. Yeah, bullshit. Elon Musk is still sucking my dick. Where's my fucking Skynet or my Starnet or whatever the fuck it's called? Cheeto in chief between algorithms and these guys. Psh. My bees, what? Look at me weird. I'm looking at my doggy. Why is there only 11 people in here? 11 people on a Sunday morning. It's top of the hour, 7 o'clock. Come on, people got to be looking at their clocks going, dude, Nay's live. Don't you get jealous of those guys in Texas with like, oh man, dude, yes. Bro, let me tell you a story, Josh. When I started gaming, I lived in Longwood, Florida, and I had high-speed internet, right? They offered different tiers, you know, and I would just pay for the most expensive. I had like, you know, the best that my ISP could offer, and I was getting great bandwidth. And I would video game. I was running multiple gaming servers out of my home. The servers were in my house. I had that much bandwidth that not only would I run the servers in my home, but I had 8 computers, and all my friends could come over, and we could all play video games all at the same time online. It was sick, right? And then I moved to California, and I still had high-speed internet. It wasn't quite as reliable, but it was still high-speed internet. It was okay. But then I got evicted from that home after 2 years, and I moved into this house. And I would get on the internet with my friend Cyber Reload, and we would go to play. And I'd do a bandwidth test. He'd be like, "What's your bandwidth at?" And I'd be like, "It's, you know, I'm getting 10 megs download and 5 megs upload." That's what I used to get here. It was pretty good. That was using the cell phones. He was getting 900 megs download, like 150 upload, some crazy shit like that. I was getting 10 and he was getting 900. I was getting 5 and he was getting 150 in Denmark. So, bro, man, I don't care if you're in Texas. I don't care. I heard Nashville has the highest speed internet in the world. Nashville. There's a town that's got municipal broadband. They've got the fastest internet in the world. There's like 0 ping. Could you imagine being a gamer there? You got no excuse, bro, if you live in Nashville. Hey, Jackie. It's awesome, Sean. Here, 7:03, top of the hour. Cheers, guys. If you guys are sharing this new video, thank you. I need the shares, guys. Please, go ahead and reshare this just one time. Remember, just one share per show, but it's a new show. So, cheers. Are we switching to dabs? Phil Smith here with Fleckview and the entire Fleckview family of products. Hi, everybody. Look at this boat. It looks like a goat because I took this chainsaw and I ripped out its throat. But that's okay. We're going to make it way better because we're going to take our new product, Flex Paste, and we're going to fix it so it's not as wetter. Claw from that. You remember the term claw? You remember the plant claw? I actually got a clone of claw, or was it seeds? That Hash Bean sent me seeds of claw. I can't remember where I got claw from. And I grew it, and it's too bad. It's so orangey and citrusy and sweet and delicious. Such a great strain. What the fuck was that, man? Was that a bird? was weird. Somebody fucking dive bomb off the goddamn rooftop, man. That's freaking weird. You couldn't have seen it because this window was in the way. But damn, man, that was weird. Looked like a bird. I think it was a bird. Oh, it was probably a hummingbird. That's why it disappeared. I've got the hummingbird feeder filled. I've got the other one. It's probably there. It is. Oh, it is a bird. Oh, I see it. It's a bird. It just flew by again. Huh? What's it doing? Is it building a nest or something? Oh, it's eating the moths off the fucking wall. Holy shit! It's flying all around the house, man. There's a bunch of moths on the wall, and it's the birds coming up and eating the moths off the wall. No, it didn't hit the window. It's just flying by it. I had a bird hit the window yesterday. I've got little butterflies on the windows so they could see that there's something there. You know, I put stickers. There's stickers on the windows. You got butterflies on these. TYT took down the Fuck You Aaron Mate episode. How did you find that out, Steve? How did you find out that TYT took that down? Have an uncle who hikes through California forest looking for Bigfoot. Hey, Baba Blue Draws, it's 7:10. You're right, sir. And I said we're switching to Dabsies. Psst. Nobody's doing them anymore. Oh my God. I'm going in early on 7:10. And you know what? I'm really high right now. Just off of cannabis flower. I feel like I've already been doing that. TYT is the Young Turks. The Young Turks on YouTube. Do not subscribe to them. They're assholes. If you are subscribed to them, please unsubscribe from their channel. You heard it on Katie Halper? Good for you, buddy. Yeah. Katie Halper. Happy 7:10 on the 7:10. I'm high as fuck. Right at 7:10. Couldn't be higher at 7:10. 10 out of 10. Oh yeah. What a gorgeous day. Fucking hey, man. So, Katie Halper's talking about TYT bringing down a video the video is, it might be taken down from TYT, but it will always be up on Jimmy Dore's channel, where they've got multiple copies of Anna Kaspazarian going, "Fuck you, Aaron Mate! Fuck you! Fuck you, Aaron! Fuck you!" Oh God, she's such a cunt. Fuck you, Aaron, for making us look bad while you do real journalism. I don't know if I'm subscribed to Katie. Katie Halper. Katie Halper. Subscribe. I am not subscribed to her. There we go. Cowardly. The Young Turks Syria coverage called out by journalist Aaron Mate one day ago. Was it a live stream, bro? Were you watching her live? Any good single player games? No, I don't really play too much anymore.
Hello and welcome to the Katie Halper Show. So excited to be here with Izzy award-winning journalist with the Pushback Show on the Gray Zone. He's also a journalist whose work you can find at places like The Nation. Aaron Mate.
Good to be here.
Good night, good evening.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Last time I spoke to you, you were in Syria. How was that?
It was really eye-opening. I just got back a few days ago, and it was very, very eye-opening.
You know, maybe a good way to start would be by just looking at, we're not going to do a big dunking, but actually just going through some of the points that have been made against you, because Aaron went to Syria. You triggered some folks at the Young Turks. They made a video. There were some not nice things said about you. You took the high road, asked for a retraction because they had said that you were paid by the Russians.
They said I was paid by Russia. They said that I seem to be working for dictators, and that I deny the murder of children and chemical weapons attacks.
Yeah.
Well, you guys, you should all be subscribed to Katie Halper on YouTube. This is Katie Halper on YouTube. They're swearing him out. Is that what they call it in Israel? They're swearing out Benjamin Netanyahu. Good riddance. I hope he walks in front of a bus on his way outside that fucking parliament building.
Yeah.
And fuck you.
Yeah, oh yeah, and Anna Kasparian told me to fuck off and gave it a finger.
Yeah, fuck you, Aaron Mate.
And Cenk Uygur also said that, this is where I just felt sad for him. Like, he said, Aaron must be really warm in his little Russian blanket.
He said that? Oh my God. Yeah. Wow.
All that is just projection. Like, this is a guy who claims to be progressive and positions himself as like a truth teller against the Democratic Party establishment. And he took $20 million from DNC mega donor Jeffrey Katzenberg. So he wrapped himself in the warm blanket of Jeffrey Katzenberg's money, and he's projecting his obvious discomfort with that onto me, because his existence is basically...
Well, Sean, while you're subscribing to people, I want you to subscribe to, write these down, Thunderfoot, Simon Dan, Professor Dave Explains, Jimmy Dore, Ron Placone, Graham Elwood, Lee Camp. Make sure you subscribe to at least all of them. And Joe Scott, you're going to find Joe Scott very entertaining. I watched Joe Scott earlier. He's very entertaining. I'll think of more and I'll let you know. Subscribe to all of them. Everyone should. Not just Sean Days, but all of you should be subscribed to all of these people. And Gray Zone, this guy's channel is called Gray Zone. And you should be subscribed to him.
A lie. And when your existence is a lie, you're going to be hostile to people who actually embody the principles that you falsely claim to represent. So that's what I think that was. And I was angry at being lied about, but also
Right.
there was some pity there involved too. I feel sorry for these people that's where their mind goes.
Thunderfoot with 2 zeros.
Well, I think, yeah, wrapped in, now I imagine Cenk wrapped in a little, like, donkey fur coat. I don't even know what donkeys have. What could you make? Because the DNC thing?
Right,
Get it?
yeah.
But then there was no apology, but the video was disappeared. But what I think was interesting is that there was another video put up. And again, Aaron, you don't go around looking for stuff to own the Young Turks on. But sometimes it's important to review it. And it
Well,
brings
look,
me
I
no
did.
joy.
Look, I definitely made fun of them for Russiagate because that was, because anybody who claims to be progressive and claims to be a journalist who bought into, I think, one of the biggest psyops in history, a straight up disinformation campaign aimed at, among many things, protecting the failed neoliberals who lost to Donald Trump by blaming Russia and their bots and email hackers. Anybody who falls into that deserves to be made fun of. And the Young Turks were a shining example of that. And I had a good time making fun of them. I never did segments about them
Right,
or told them to F off, but I still made fun of them on Twitter because it's funny. And they deserve to be made fun of for that.
Right. So when I say that, I bring this up because it brings me no pleasure to play what I'm about to play. I actually think it's useful. We're not dunking on anyone in any inappropriate way. I don't think that the Young Turks regularly covers electoral politics of Syria. I don't think they had a report on this during the last elections. I don't
think they cover Syria, period.
Right.
And to the extent they do, I think they do it to parrot establishment talking points. And to illustrate the absurdity of the segment we're going to watch, the U.S. right now is occupying 1/3 of Syria militarily, in the northeast. The explicit goal, as Trump said, is to take the oil. As another U.S. official said, named Dana Stroul, she now works for Biden. She's a top official under Biden at the Pentagon. She said that the goal actually is not just to fight ISIS, as the U.S. says publicly, but it's to own 1/3 of Syria and use the leverage that the U.S. has in occupying 1/3 of its country and occupying a region where Syria's oil is, and also its wheat. It's the breadbasket of Syria. It's agricultural powerhouse, in Stroul's words, to use the U.S. occupation of that, what she calls the U.S. owning that part of Syria, as leverage to effectuate a political outcome in Syria that's in line with U.S. dictates, which is essentially that the government has to go. So that is the context for what the U.S. is doing in Syria right now. And it's also imposing these murderous sanctions that after helping to destroy Syria for 10 years with a multi-billion-dollar dirty war that, according to some estimates, cost the CIA over $1 billion per year, one of the most expensive in CIA's history. After helping to destroy Syria, leave it in ruins, as I saw firsthand, now it's imposing the harshest sanctions in the world under something called the Caesar Act. And so the Young Turks, I checked, has never done a single segment on these sanctions. And in this segment, Anna Kasparian, the host, claims that she has an anti-intervention ideology without even mentioning these sanctions or this military occupation.
Yeah.
So that's just an illustration of like where they're at with Syria.
Right.
And that's why it's awkward for me to comment on them because I just think they're so ridiculous.
Well, I think actually what's weirder about this is that I don't think they ever would have done this if you hadn't appeared on it and they didn't get kind of embarrassed
Steve, is this where they say that they pulled the video down?
by cursing
Do they say in this video?
you out.
Right.
And I guess I'm bringing that up because I actually think it tells an uncomfortable truth about the media, which is that there are egos all over the place. And, in some ways I'd rather have egos be running the show than imperialism, but sadly those things can overlap. But I was just embarrassed because it was a ridiculous segment for many reasons, but let's watch some of it.
Syria just held its presidential election. And
Here it is.
unsurprisingly,
Here it is.
Bashar al-Assad won his 4th term, which means he'll be serving another 7 years as the president of the country. In what I'm sure was a totally free and fair election. I'm sure that there was no funny business going on, nothing undemocratic taking place. Now, of course, the truth is very different from that. I'm being incredibly sarcastic.
Since they took it down, let's make it
before I
full
get to
screen.
the details on what went down during this election, I want to be abundantly clear that as an individual who identifies on the left, you can both be against United States intervention or the United States meddling in these types of situations, and also acknowledge when undemocratic behavior takes place. And that certainly is the case in the country of Syria. And I want to make the case
All right, pause it there. Pause it there.
That's a good. I wish that speed. Yeah.
All right, so that's a good example. So what you're saying, this is a classic thing that people like this do, where they will claim to be anti-U.S. intervention, they'll claim to be leftist, while simultaneously, in her case, in the case of this segment, omitting any of the most minimal facts about U.S. intervention, the 10-year dirty war launched by the CIA, the U.S. occupying 1/3 of the country, and the murderous sanctions that prevented firm rebuilding. Okay, imagine doing a segment about Syria right now, claiming that you're against intervention and not being able to name or acknowledge the most basic facts about the ongoing U.S. intervention that is making Syrians' lives miserable. That's the first thing. So basically, this is a classic thing where someone will claim to be anti-interventionist while omitting any of the facts about it, and then proceeding to advance all of the current talking points that are being used to justify U.S. intervention. So it's this cowardly thing of not wanting to own your actual position, which is simply, I'm going to be a useful idiot for imperialism and do exactly what the rest of the established media is doing to the extent that it's talking about Syria at all.
Yeah.
And parrot all the talking points, create a straw man about, and reduce Syria into, which is always the playbook.
Because this video is over.
There's one person, Assad, not a state full of people.
It's over in like 10 seconds.
Views. Reduce the state to this cartoonish portrayal of one person, as the U.S. always does every single target of regime change. Saddam Hussein, Muammar Gaddafi, you can go down the list.
You must have been watching this. This is just a section of what you were probably watching. You were probably watching this live.
The people
and they cut this as just a section of it.
And that's what a segment like this plays into.
See? They cut it. So, right on, bro. Too bad they didn't show it in there. But that's funny that they removed it, man. They're assholes. Fuck you, Aaron Mate. Fuck you. Basically, you know, what more can Aaron Mate do to have them take it down? You know? It was slanderous saying that he was in bed with Russia. You know, that he has a Russian blanket. And you must keep him really warm at night, his Russian blanket. He's such an asshole. But, no, don't be sorry. It's cool. I like hearing what they have to say, man. Both of them. Washington Post Live put this fucking cuck bitch up on, look at this. The UFO guy. This guy with the fucking badger beard. Badger beard, motherfucker. God. Advanced Aerospace. Washington Post.
Former director for AATIP, the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification
You
Program.
guys, this has over 500,000 views. This UFO video has over 500,000 views.
Some answers. So excited to welcome you today, Lou. Thanks for joining us.
Jack, it is my sincere pleasure to be with you and your audience today. Thank you very much for having me.
So I want to take us back for a second and set the table for this conversation. How exactly did you get assigned in the first place to investigate UFOs for the intelligence community?
Well, Jackie, quite frankly, I was voluntold. In essence, I had some prerequisite experience that they were looking for. At the time, the organization was fairly new, and they were looking for someone to create a counterintelligence and security portfolio. And I guess because of some of my background running investigations, counterintelligence investigations, and some of my background in technology protection, specifically with aerospace systems, that probably, I suspect, was a fairly lucrative skill set.
Yeah, he glazes over that really fast. I wonder what his aerospace systems experience entails exactly. He kind of goes through that pretty quick. Because for someone who claims to have a lot of experience, he seems to not be able to debunk these stupid little videos too easily. And it's his job to do it.
That they were looking
What a fucking clown bitch.
for to create this sub portfolio under H.
Shout out Booz and Bozo, you're unblocked.
And that's how I got into the program. I entered the program in 2008. I was asked by its director to come on board and establish this program. And then in 2010 is when I was asked to take over the effort.
And I'm sure many of you are well aware of this. If you are tuning in, you've probably watched the documentary that came out this year, The Phenomenon. Senator Harry Reid, which this doc outlines, got the program funded. Did you brief him in Congress on these unexplained pilot sightings when you were running the program?
Jackie, we provide many briefings, mostly through DoD and intelligence community leadership.
Hey, yo.
That information was also provided to times to staffers and, of course, our elected officials. It's very important that when you're working in a national security construct that you try to follow the chain of command as much as possible. So a lot of my briefings were really to more senior level folks in the Department of Defense and within our intelligence architecture. But there were times, yes, that we would be asked to brief other officials, particularly in the legislative branch and in the executive branch as well.
And right now, everyone in Washington and really a lot of people around this country are hotly anticipating this unclassified government report on aerial phenomenon witnessed by Navy pilots. It's expected to be delivered to the Senate intelligence community by the Director of National Intelligence, hopefully by June 25th. The New York
By June 25th. It's June 13th right now. Okay. Right?
Times reported that senior administration officials who were briefed on the findings said that the unusual movements witnessed by pilots did not originate from American military or advanced U.S. government technology. But that's really about the only conclusive finding that has been so far teased from the report. What do you think the likelihood is that aerial phenomena are actually extraterrestrial spacecraft?
She's a fucking idiot. She's asked him, what are the chances that these are fucking aliens? She literally just asked him that question. And you know what he's going to say? In my opinion, he's going to say, I don't know what they are, but they could travel at 13,000 miles an hour. They could permeate the boundaries of air and water and space. They can have surfaces that are translucent. They are, let's see what he says. I haven't seen this yet, but I'm just going to guess that that's going to be his answer.
Well, Jackie, that's really the question, isn't it? The bottom line is up until very...
My bad. His response was, well, that is the question. That is the question, isn't it? Yo, now you going to do another bong rip or a dab? That is the question, isn't it, folks? Wouldn't that piss you the fuck off? Yes, I am going to do another bong rip or a dab. How about that? That is the question. Little filibuster in there.
Recently, there are really only three possibilities of what this could be. And the first possibility is that it is some sort of secret U.S. tech that somehow...
No. Let's say if he says it could be something that, normal that we're just misperceiving. Let's see if he says that.
We have managed to keep secret even from ourselves for a long period of time. The second option is that it's some sort of foreign adversarial technology that...
Wow! He doesn't even leave that as a possibility, guys. Are you keeping up with me here? He says these objects that they're reporting or that they're seeing and that they've got on video, supposedly, they could only be three things. And of the three things he mentions, one of the things isn't a misrepresentation of what we think we're seeing. He doesn't even leave that open as an option. Are you following that, guys? Because the next thing he's going to say is something from out of this world.
that has somehow managed to technologically leapfrog ahead of our country, despite having a fairly robust and comprehensive intelligence apparatus. And of course, the third option is something quite entirely different. It's a different paradigm completely. Now, as
he left that open, didn't he? He didn't say alien. He said a different paradigm. Okay, Google. Paradigm definition.
Here's the definition of paradigm. A typical example or pattern of something, a model.
Let's go back.
The third option is something quite entirely different. It's a different paradigm. The third option is something quite entirely different. It's a different paradigm. The third option is something quite entirely different. It's a different paradigm completely. Now, as of this week, we now know through some of the discussions at senior level leadership that this report has definitively stated once and for all that's not our technology. And that's hugely important. For 30 years, there has always been this undercurrent, if you will, these conspiracies that there was some sort of TR-3B program and some sort of super special technology that has been implemented, and we've been just been very careless about it. And I think that argument was finally put to bed this week. So that really leaves two other options, and that's, again, it's foreign adversarial, or it's.
He's gonna say it again. Is he going to say 3, a different paradigm? This is interesting because I haven't seen this yet, and I'm just dying to find out what he's going to say. Is he going to say aliens, something from another world? Or is he going to say what he should say, which is misjudgment from our pilots and, or glitches that we're seeing, electronically. He doesn't even leave that open as an option.
It's something quite different, and I think
something quite different. He's leaving it so open. Something quite different. Dolch, what's up, Dolch? Yo, Dolch.
we're now beginning to learn, as we've heard from the Director of National Intelligence, I can certainly tell you from my experience, that we're pretty confident that it's not Russian or Chinese technology. There's several.
Okay, so now he's eliminated American technology, which was option number 1. He's eliminated foreign adversarial technology, which was option number 2. Now remember, option number 3 is a different paradigm or another option. Paradigm option. That's where we're at. This is all he says it could possibly be now. He's eliminated the other 2. This guy is such a jack fuck. And what's funny is it's none of the 3 that he's mentioned, at all.
Reasons for that if you like, I'm more than happy to go into.
Yeah, actually, could you go into that? I know you've explained it in previous interviews, but these sightings have happened for the past 70 years, and I know you've said before that you didn't think it was possible for one of our foreign adversaries, who have been helpful actually in providing information on this issue, would be capable of keeping something a secret for so long. Is that accurate?
That's precisely one of the counter arguments. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, as of today, we had an announcement by former Director of National Intelligence, Ratcliffe, who said this isn't Russian technology. And
so they're just hammering away at option number 2 right now, guys. It's not number 2. It's not foreign countries. It's not our allies. He's eliminating all of that. Hey, Jerry, we're just laughing at this fucking dude. We're laughing at this guy.
As we know, during Glasnost and the fall of the Berlin Wall, there was this 5-year romance period, if you will, between the United States and Russia, where we began really sharing a lot of information. And a lot of their, ironically enough, a lot of their UFO information wound up in our hands. And it turns out that they were experiencing the exact same issues from a UFO or a UAP issue perspective that we were. So if you look at the timelines here, it's looking increasingly less likely that this is some sort of Russian technology. So that really means China. And some of these reports, you're absolutely correct, Jackie, they go back into the early 1950s and even earlier. And so what that says is that you have pilots, whether we're describing what we call a white flying Tic Tac or a white flying butane tank in the 1950s or a white flying lozenge, if you will, we're all describing the exact same vehicle, craft, if you will, doing exactly the same thing, performing in ways well beyond our current capabilities. And if you look at that from a temporal perspective, from a time perspective, it simply doesn't make sense that China back in 1950 would have this beyond next generation technology.
He eliminated Russia.
At will anywhere it wants on the face of the planet. And the last 70 years, despite the billions of dollars we put into our intelligence community infrastructure and architecture, it has managed to evade us. In fact, China is a country that has stolen quite a bit, spends a lot of time stealing technology from us. And so one has to ask the question that if really a country had this technology, would it be necessary to steal much more basic technology from another country? Furthermore, if you had this type of technology, you probably wouldn't need to invest so much in military because you have this, if you will, checkmate type technology or capability where everything else now becomes obsolete. And so this goes to your last part of your question. Do I feel or do I believe this is, quote, extraterrestrial? Let me be very careful before I answer that by saying, at the end of the day, Jackie, it doesn't matter what I think or what I believe. What matters is what the data and the facts tell us. And from that perspective, it's very important that I have a very simple job, and that is to collect the truth and speak the truth. That's it. Very much as an investigator, which I used to be, we applied the same type level of rigor and methodologies we did in hunting terrorists and spies as we did in hunting UFOs. So we really didn't care what these were. We were just trying to get to the bottom of what they were. And so therein lies, if you will, a little bit of our approach. We were very agnostic, if you will, or objective about this topic and trying to allow the facts to lead us down a certain path. And that is really what we're doing today. What we're realizing is that the facts are painting a far more compelling picture than what we thought. In this case, you, your audience, they're the jury. So what matters is really what you think about this. And so the hope here is that the U.S. government can provide the data and the evidence and the information, and then allow the American people to decide what
This guy is a professional liar. He literally knows not to say aliens, but he gets so fucking close. He said it's not any of the other things, so it's got to be another paradigm, right? He says it's got to be something else, another option. And then when she says, is it aliens? He's like, that's up for you to decide.
We think this is about. I think, if I may just digress for a moment here, you mentioned something very interesting that a lot of...
He wants to digress because he can't talk about fucking aliens, so he needs to go off on other tangents so he can have airtime.
People want to talk about and say, is this extraterrestrial? And I want to just, if I can, for just briefly delve into where we are with modern day science. We are human beings that a lot of now people in psychology refer to as cardiosocial animals. Now, if we look at things in extremes, because for the first 9 months of our existence, we were in our mother's womb and we heard that binary heartbeat of our mother. And so,
that's fucking true, man. I had dreams about that when I was a kid, man. It's true. That's so crazy that he said that.
Binary way. It's either good.
It's the only thing that motherfucker ever says that I will agree with.
It's bad, it's hot or cold, black or white, up and down. And that's how we tend to judge things. But in reality, the universe and physics isn't binary. It's not binary at all. In fact, there's all sorts of options and opportunities of what this could be. So again, back to your question, is it from here or is it from out there? We don't really know. In fact, there's lots of other options on the table. It could be from, as I've said before, it can be from outer space, inner space.
Oh, he said outer space. He said inner space. Right, Josh?
Thanks for the space.
Thank you, Jerry, for the digit droppies. Droppies of digis. You know, it's like I realized I don't even care that there's just 8 people here. I'm just glad to be hanging out with a few folks chilling right now.
In between, as we begin to learn what quantum
I got
physics
8
is,
viewers, and I'm
and we
like,
begin to understand our place here on this little planet, we begin to realize that there's a lot of other
I
options.
hope the 8 of you are having
We
fun.
judge the universe in 5 fundamental senses, the ways that we perceive the universe, and that's touch, taste, hear, smell, etc. And if you can't use those senses to look at something or measure it, then we really can't interact with it. And yet we know the majority of the universe around us, 99% of it, in fact, is not perceivable. There are right now Wi-Fi signals coursing through your body. There's cosmic radiation coming in from the cosmos. There's neutrinos coming in from the sun. There's radar hitting you from the local airport. And yet these are all realities, and you can't interact with it because we just don't have the tools to do so. Take a beautiful night sky with stars, and you might say, wow, that's really a pretty sky. But if you now take a radio telescope and look at that same spot in the sky, all of a sudden you begin to see things that you couldn't see before. You see the ultraviolet, you see the infrared spectrum, you see nebula. So I guess my long-winded point to all this is that we must keep all options open. If we already know that 99% of the universe we cannot perceive or interact with, then there may be other options here. This may not necessarily be something from outer space. In fact, this could be something as natural to our very own planet as us. We're just now at a point where we're beginning to technologically be able to interact and collect data.
Josh, I've already started dropping frames just for bringing you this video from YouTube. There's no way I can handle the bandwidth to have cameras up on people in a chat room and go live. Not at all. I don't have the bandwidth for it. You know, be mad. Josh, tell Elon Musk to ship me my fucking router. And tell my goddamn internet company to stop fucking throttling me, you know, and to give me a gold plan so I can have fucking more bandwidth. It's fucking cuck bitches.
Something from under the oceans. This could be something from outer space. We really don't know, and this is why I think we really need to take a whole of government approach and look at this, because it is day by day seemingly.
Do you have any more narrow idea in that 99% of things that we are unaware of what this could be exactly?
You know, through observations, we are quite convinced that we're dealing with a technology that is multi-generational.
Yeah, it's multi-generational. It goes across different generations. Yeah, people have been taking blurry photographs of fake bullshit for multiple generations. So what else is he going to say? Talky Talkerton.
Several generations.
Okay, you just said that. Talky, filibustery. You said it twice. What else are you gonna say, little talky man? What else is little talky man gonna say? Talky. You gonna talk a little bit more? Talky. What are you gonna say?
Ahead of what we consider next generation technology.
Next generation. So multiple generation, multi-generation, next generation. I have no idea what he means when he says that, but it's fucking hilarious.
So what we consider beyond next generation tech.
Did he just say generation 4 times in a row? Generation.
Quite possibly, we don't know for sure yet, but to something far more profound.
Get ready.
But as someone who is more steeped and
Get ready for the 4th generation.
Data and
It's the quad generation
do you have
explanation.
any
It's the quad generation
narrow
explanation.
idea
Are you ready?
in that
Are you ready for
90%
the
of
quad
things that we're
generation
unaware of?
explanation? Here we go,
What this could
people.
be exactly?
Generations.
You know, through observations, we are quite convinced that we're dealing with a technology that is multi-generational, several generations ahead of what we consider next generation technology. So what we consider beyond next generation technology, something that could be anywhere between 50 to 1,000 years ahead of us. And for us, I think it's, when we're looking at the observations and these things, how they can outperform, frankly, anything that we have in our inventory, and we're pretty certain anything that our foreign adversaries have in our inventory, then yes, obviously as human beings, we tend to go down that rabbit hole of speculation. I want to be very careful that I don't offer my opinion in an unqualified manner. I've always stated this is exactly why we need a UAP task force. In fact, this is why we need a much bigger whole of government.
No, dude, this guy has no evidence. He has none. And, you know, that is why he can only say what he is limiting himself to saying right now. It is so obvious. 14 minutes into this video.
Because at the end of the day, we don't know what we're dealing with. And frankly, all options have to be on the table until they're no longer on the table. I could offer you my opinion right now, but Jackie, in all honesty, it would probably be a bit of disservice because we frankly don't have enough information yet.
Dude, why not just go fucking to check out these debunker, channels on YouTube. Oh, one more, Sean. Sean, are you still here? Mick West. Sean Days. Mick West channel. Make sure you subscribe to him and that you're watching his debunking videos of the UFO stuff. He's great. Mick West. He's writing the next sequel to Back to the Future.
We're just now getting to the point as a government, as a society, that we are accepting the reality that this is real, whatever it is. I think we need to do a little bit more. And so, out of respect to you and your journalistic integrity and that to your audience, I'm probably going to refrain from offering more of my opinion on that particular aspect, only because the one thing I've learned in intelligence is you can be absolutely sure of something and still be absolutely wrong. But Jackie, in all honesty, it would probably be a bit of disservice because we frankly don't have enough information yet. We're just now getting to the point as a government, as a society, that we are accepting the reality that this is real, whatever it is. I think we need to do a little bit more. And so, out of respect to you and your journalistic integrity and that to your audience, I'm probably going to refrain from offering more of my opinion on that particular aspect, only because the one thing I've learned in intelligence is particular aspect, only because refrain from offering more of my opinion on that particular aspect, only your audience. I'm probably going to refrain from offering more of my opinion on your audience. I'm probably going to refrain from offering more of my opinion on that particular aspect, only because your audience. I'm probably going to refrain from offering more of my opinion on.
Are they aliens? Are they aliens? Isn't that your job? Are they aliens? Are they aliens? Are they aliens? And that's his answer.
That particular aspect, only because the one thing I've learned in intelligence is you can particular aspect, only because more of my opinion on that particular aspect, only because the one thing I've learned in intelligence is you can be absolutely sure of something and still be absolutely wrong. And I don't want to mislead anybody.
I'm going to be a little bit of a pest here, and I apologize for my desire for a more black and white answer, but in common parlance, I guess, is that something that you would refer to as an alien or a time traveler? Is there any sort of way you could, more specifically say, desire for a more black and white answer, but in common parlance, I guess, is that something that you would refer to as an alien or a, but in common parlance, I guess, but in common parlance, I guess, is that something that you would refer to as an alien or a time traveler? Is there any sort of way you could, more specifically say about this?
Yeah, I've said before, this is something, and I guess I may have just said it again, but that this could be something from outer space, inner space, or frankly, the space in between. There's a lot of options out there. This could be something that is extra or hyperdimensional. Now, I don't mean extra dimensional in a woo-woo sense. I mean extra dimensional in a quantum physics sense. We know that the universe is full of shortcuts and loopholes. We know there's a
God damn, this guy, do you hear where he's going? He's going to go talk about the multiverse now, guys. Holy shit. What a fucking phony bitch. What a phony bitch. And, dude, what do people say in the chat? Chris Donnelly, haha, when she asked the likelihood of government action releasing. He had stumbled and was flabbergasted. Actually going to confirm any check we got lost. Yes. People of Earth, we come in peace. Don't be alarmed. This man is serious. Listen and learn. This guy should get together with Jeremy Corbell. They could both talk a great deal, yet communicate very little. Oh my God, I love it. He nailed it. They could talk a lot and communicate nothing. That is, this guy right here. This guy right here. What a fantastic fucking response to that dude. This guy should get together with Jeremy Corbell. They could both talk a great deal, yet communicate very little. Three replies. Someone said, this chap is working so hard not to say the word aliens. Are they the Vulcans or the Borg? Someone said. Hey, Karen.
Let me backtrack for just a moment. It took a renaissance to come to the point where we understand Newtonian physics. We understand what gravity looks like. We still don't quite understand what it is yet, but we understand what it looks like. And we understand forces, acceleration, and whatnot. So we have these really elegant solutions for our observation.
Do we not understand what gravity is, guys? Does anybody here not understand gravity? If you don't, stand up and just kind of, I don't know, pick up an object and just hold it and just drop it. Make sure it's nothing you want to break. There. You understand gravity now? Let's go back to what he just said about not understanding gravity.
Of the natural world. And then it took quite understand what it is yet, but we understand what it looks like, and we understand force equals mass times accelerations to come to the point where we understand Newtonian physics. We understand what gravity looks like. We still don't quite understand what it is yet, but we understand what it looks like. And what gravity looks like, we still don't quite understand what it is. What gravity looks like, we still don't quite understand what it is yet. What gravity looks like, we still don't quite understand what it is yet. But what gravity looks like, we still don't quite understand what it is yet. But quite understand what it is yet. Quite understand what it is yet. But we quite understand what it is yet. But we.
How could you not understand what gravity is? It's the force that pulls things towards the earth. It's when you fall down. That's what gravity is. It's why you don't fall up or left or right or backwards or forwards. You fall down. That's the force of gravity. We pretty much understand what it is. This guy works for the fucking government. He doesn't understand what gravity is yet. And he's looking up at shit supposedly identifying UFOs. He doesn't even know what gravity is. Oh, because the whole Bob Lazar gravity drive thing. Gravity drives. They're gravity drives. They're drives that are on gravity. They're on the gravitational poles, and they separate their Moses. And they have the stack, and they separate the Red Sea of gravity, and then it allows the spaceship to move through gravity. That's why in outer space they have gravity drives that run on gravity, even though when you're in outer space, there's no fucking gravity force on you. Is there? When you're in outer space, how the fuck are you using a goddamn gravity drive? Does that even make sense? Oh, it goes to the Earth, and it takes the gravity, and it forces the gravity to one side. And, hey, Billy, what's up, buddy? We were just talking about gravity drives, bro. They're talking about gravity drives, bro.
We understand what it looks like, and we understand force equals mass times acceleration and whatnot. So we have these really elegant solutions for our observations of the natural world. And then it took a couple hundred years, but along comes some cat with crazy hair we call Einstein, who now introduces the notion of relativity and kind of upends really science and turns it 180 degrees and says, well, actually, there's a thing called space-time, and space and time are actually connected, and they're also stretchable and compressed.
Can you believe this guy is saying this? She's like, are these things that we're seeing aliens? And listen where he is, 16 minutes into this interview.
And as bizarre as that may be, that is precisely what we're seeing. And so space-time can be warped based upon mass or a lot of energy. And then, of course, 47 years ago, we really start getting into this whole other paradigm of science, and it's quantum physics. And someone once described it as you have this box sitting on the ground, and in walks a dog, and all of a sudden, two cats walk out. And as crazy as that may seem, that's precisely what we're seeing in these observations with quantum physics, proverbially speaking, of course. So it doesn't make sense, and yet there's this weird duality. Maybe in the universe, the speed of light, although maybe the universal speed limit, there may be some shortcuts and off-ramps in this understanding of our universe. So we're just now scratching the surface of understanding what type of science it may take to do what we are seeing with these vehicles. There's 5 specific observables associated with these UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomena, that really separate them from the rest of anything that we would consider terrestrial aircraft or man.
They move unlike anything that we have. They can transcend water and air. They can vanish and disappear. And we see them, and then now we see them, and now we don't. They're identified by multiple people. I've seen them simultaneously. These things are identified. We've captured them on video. We've got video of them. These are the 5 things. Let's see how close I was.
And aircraft or some type of human-based technology. And again, I want to be careful not to go too far out on the limb, because that's where the speculation starts, and that's also where the danger starts, because we simply don't know yet.
We don't know.
Well, and I guess the other question here is, what do you think the likelihood is that the U.S. government is actually going to confirm anything?
He never said the 5 things, did he? That was weird.
Jackie, I think I lost you, but I'm going to go ahead and try to answer the best I can. I think
that's funny. They cut off. It got cut off there. I don't know what happened.
You were asking me what the likelihood is of the U.S. government going ahead and confirming anything in this 180-day report. So let me see if I can go ahead and answer that. Hopefully that was your question, because I seem to have lost signal. So the 180-day report is, first of all, not substantial enough time to do a comprehensive report. In fact, I told people it takes longer to remodel.
Okay, so how long are you going to complain about that for? Okay, next point.
A household kitchen sometimes than it does to take 180 to conduct one of these 180-day reports. Secondly, there's the other issue here that we have COVID and this pandemic that kept a lot of people home for most of that time. And then thirdly, I think if this turns out to be some sort of adversarial technology that has happened to leapfrog ahead of us for the last 7 years, Jackie, we're talking about one of the greatest intelligence failures this country has ever seen, probably eclipsing 9/11 by an order of magnitude. It took us nearly 3 years to come up with a 9/11 Commission's report. If this turns out to be some sort of adversarial technology that did happen to technologically leapfrog us, 180 days, I don't think it's going to be sufficient. I think what we can expect the report to say is something like this. There are about 100 and some odd cases out there that are compelling enough that they are definitely displaying some sort of capability, technology that we don't have. Secondly, we don't know what these things are. We have no evidence to suggest that they are from outer space, but at the same time, we have no evidence to suggest that they're not. And so this report will probably be a bit of a placeholder. The one thing we know for sure at this point is that it's not really secret technology. So that takes part of the 30-year argument that this is some sort of secret Air Force, if you will, weapon platform being tested. That's now off the table. And so now we can focus more, I think, on the foreign adversarial perspective, or hopefully maybe something on something, quite frankly, sufficiently different than anything that we had possibly considered before.
Is that better?
And when you're actually talking about this as a national security threat or as a foreign adversarial threat, as you just mentioned, I think we need to talk about China here, which the United States government also views as a national security threat. And China is making big investments at the moment to identify extraterrestrial life as a part of their military mission. There's discussion within the community about whether it's better for us to lead the way with confirmation versus China doing so, and possibly being dishonest about what they found. Essentially, a new modern-day space race. Do you think, in your opinion, does it matter which national takes the lead on confirming the presence of extraterrestrial life, and who gets to the bottom of this answer first?
I think, well, you're right, Jackie. Not only that, they've just announced they've established a new UAP task force similar to ours, and they're using artificial intelligence to do this. We also know that there's a play by them to try to lead this conversation at the United Nations. That, for me, it's a multifaceted question you're asking me. There's two parts of me, and I'm a little bit, I guess you'd say, schizophrenic about the response. There is the national security side of me that has said always, we have these adversaries, these traditional adversaries, and they're going to steal everything they can from us. We should don't trust them, try to cooperate, but don't trust them. But then there's the other side, which is the more governmental side of me that tends to be a little bit more optimistic. And perhaps this is an opportunity for our countries, rather than to fight disagreement, maybe to find some sort of common ground. Maybe this may be a new renaissance. Maybe this is an opportunity for our countries to work together on the common good that involves all of humanity. Maybe this is like we did in the Cold War when we started working with Russians to this era of cooperation. We start meeting each other in space. I would certainly hope the latter is what happens. I don't know. That's a great question, because what I hope for may be different than what I expect, and that still needs to be reconciled. So I don't know if I answered your question appropriately, but that's how I feel. I would love nothing more than an opportunity to work with our adversaries, our conventional adversaries, Russia, China. Let's get everybody to the table. I believe this is a topic that involves all of humanity. I think it affects all of us equally and yet differently, depending on our philosophical, sociological, and theological belief systems. So I guess maybe the kid in me wants this to be an opportunity for us to work together, but I also have a very realistic side, because I've seen what those countries are capable of doing, and it would have to take a lot of trust for us to do that.
And several of these UFO sightings have been above secret nuclear weapons facilities. Almost every major nuclear power across the globe really has reported and declassified these sightings. You have talked extensively about the connection here, which might be helpful, I think, for some people to hear in advance of my next question, which is whether or not the U.S. government has considered utilizing nuclear-powered naval fleets to lure these kinds of things to further study them.
Wow. So first of all, Jackie, thank you for asking such a thoughtful question. Obviously, you've done some homework. And I also want to, by the way, thank you as a journalist for following this topic, because I know there's a lot of risk involved. And I also know there's been traditionally a lot of stigma and taboo associated with it. So I want to congratulate you for your courage, and thank you and our audience for at least having this conversation. But secondly, yes, that is one of the concerns we have from a national security perspective, that there does need to be some sort of congruency or some sort of intersection between these UAP or UFO sightings and our nuclear technology, whether it's nuclear propulsion, nuclear power, and generation, or nuclear weapon systems. Furthermore, those same observations have been seen overseas in other countries.
Bullshit. That's bullshit. Remember the Tic Tac sighting? There was no nuclear involved in that at all. And that's like their main sighting. It's bullshit.
Countries, they too have had the same incidents. So that tells us this is a global issue. Now, in this country, we've had incidents where these UAPs have interfered and actually brought offline.
Like I said, people have videos, sightings, of whatever the fuck they want you to believe all around the world in all kinds of places, not just around nuclear fucking ships and nuclear technology. It's hilarious.
Our nuclear capabilities. And I think the thing they would probably say, I'm not just saying that whatever this is something that's peaceful. But in the same context, we also have data suggesting that in other countries, these things have interfered with their nuclear technology and actually turned them on, put them online. So that is equally, for me, just as concerning. I think that there is certainly at this point enough data to demonstrate there is an interest in our nuclear technology, a potential to even interfere with that nuclear technology. And when we look at all these naval ships out there, let's take the Nimitz battle carrier fleet, for example. In some cases, you're talking about a nuclear footprint, probably bigger than a nuclear-powered carrier with aircraft on board, and then you have nuclear-powered destroyers, you have nuclear-powered submarines, some of those with nuclear weapons on board, or certainly nuclear capabilities. We'll just see that.
Hey, Lou. Shoot them out of the sky then, okay? You got my permission. All right, go ahead and fucking red flag the whole goddamn fleet. Tell them, hey man, you see any aliens, you see any fucking phenomena flying around, go ahead and shoot them down. Priority one. Okay? We're going full war against the aliens. How about that, Lou? Let's do that. And let's see if you can bring down one goddamn piece of evidence. If you can shoot one fucking alien out of the sky. All right? There you go. No more wondering about it. No more worrying about it. Now, if one shows up, everyone is commanded to destroy it. Okay? And as soon as you shoot it down, we'll be able to study it, right?
So I think it shouldn't be a surprise that maybe there's an increased interest in our capabilities as it relates to our nuclear technology. And the Navy is certainly not awake to that.
What a narrative! What a fucking lie! You're a piece of shit.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, I think there's two congruencies that we see. We see an interest in nuclear capabilities, and then we have this really bizarre, I don't know if you call it an interest, but there seems to be a connection with water. And these things have a tendency to be seen in and around water, which kind of leads to one of the observables that we have.
So they seem to be around water. Okay, Google, how much of the Earth is covered with water?
71%.
Isn't that funny? Well, 71% of the Earth is covered with water.
And the oceans hold about
Isn't that funny?
90% of all Earth's water.
Do you think maybe that's why these things are seen around water? Because most of the Earth is fucking covered with it? You jack fuck? That proves nothing, you moron. Hey, most of these things are spotted at night. Most of these things are seen in the nighttime. At night. Well, that's when they see the lights in the sky. I saw something fucked up last night. I did. I looked up at 2 stars, but I did have the flashlight on my phone, and I was thinking maybe I had it aimed upwards. And there were moths flying around. And maybe I saw a fucking moth fly through the light of my flashlight. But it looked like, to me, in between 2 stars, it looked like I saw a star like fucking burn out and move. I was like, what the fuck is that? And I literally said it out loud. Last night when I saw that shit, I sat there and I stared at it. I was like, what the fuck was that? Flipped me out. But I didn't think it was a fucking alien. And then I thought maybe it was a fucking moth. Because there's moths flying around here and I had the flashlight on my phone.
Technology, as I mentioned.
But I never thought it was a fucking alien.
Earlier, aside from everything we have in the inventory, the first is hypersonic velocity, the ability to change directions instantly. And when I say instantly, I mean humans can withstand about 9 G forces. Some of our best aircraft can withstand about 16 Gs. These things are doing 300, 400, 600 Gs in mid-flight. Then there's hypersonic velocity.
He just said 600 Gs. He just said these things are going 600 Gs. Because you know why? Because you guys ever seen a reflection Oh, here we go. Here we go. Look at this. Pew, 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 pew. There's a UFO outside. I saw it. I saw it out the window. Hold on a second. How hard could it be? UFO. I see. I see. Look how fast. Defying. It defies. It's defying the gravitation. Holy word. He's trying to match his hat with his jacket, but we learned in etiquette school that two-color khaki is worse than wearing all hot pink. It's thrift store shit. Never wear a ball cap with a dress jacket, burlap bag, or whatever that is. The easiest way to fake a UFO video is just to put on a window. I know. Anything on glass. Exactly.
Awesome. That speeds that by definition are Mach 5 or above. Very, very fast. We do have some technology. We mentioned Russian hypersonics and things like that. There are technologies that can go that fast, but then again, you don't expect a hypersonic aircraft to do a 90-degree turn. To put that into context, our SR-71 Blackbird at 3,200 miles an hour wants to take a right-hand turn. It takes roughly half the state of Ohio to do it. You don't expect it to just kind of do this. And that's precisely what we're seeing. And then the third observable is a bit like slinking, we call it low observability. But the fourth observable is what we were talking about, that's transmedium travel. And water. For an object to fly not only in our atmosphere, low and high altitudes, but also potentially in a vacuum environment like space and even underwater. Now, we do have vehicles that can do that. We have, for example, a seaplane. A seaplane is a plane that can fly, that can float in the water. But when you look at it, it's neither really a very good aircraft or a boat because it's a design compromise. And what we are seeing are objects that can operate in all these domains or all these environments, seemingly without any type of performance compromise. And so why are we seeing these things around in and around water is something that we're really kind of scratching our heads with, because we're seeing these things that were recorded not only in our atmosphere, but there's data to suggest that they've also been tracked by some of our capabilities underwater as well, and being able to perform in ways that frankly exceed anything that we know on the planet right now.
And Lou, unfortunately, we only have time for one more question, but I should make it to our viewers that you actually signed an NDA when you were working on this at the Pentagon. Is there any scenario that would cause you to break that NDA if you feel like, for example, this report obfuscates or peddles disinformation about what the findings actually are here?
Right. I will never violate my non-disclosure agreement with the government. I still maintain the security clearance. And the reason is that not because it's my loyalty to the government, because it's my loyalty to the American people. That contract I signed, that was many years ago, was a promise to the American people that I would never violate their trust, period. And I can't violate their trust in order to gain their trust. It doesn't work that way. So what I'm going to continue to do is doing what I'm doing now and pushing for this disclosure, pushing for the information that I know to be true because I saw it and so did my colleagues, continue to have this conversation the way I can. And I'll tell you, if it looks like the Pentagon continues to obfuscate, I have made it clear before that there's a possibility I would consider running for some sort of congressional office. I don't want to do that. I'm not a politician. I don't have the political savvy. But if I have to put my boots back on in order to make sure this conversation is had and ultimately...
He wants money. That's all a politician wants. So he's trying to get a base drawn up right here. Like Donald Trump, you know, I'm gonna uncover the real truth inside the government. Oh God, please, please, go fuck yourself, dude. That dude's got to go away. All right, you guys, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you this afternoon. I hope you guys had fun. Take care, y'all. Love you guys, and please go on Twitter and help me out over there at CryptoCult420 and at Nays Garden. Retweet all my stuff out there, and please make sure you are subscribed to my big channel on yeah, everybody has an agenda. Exactly, he just wants to make money and be famous. YouTube, Nays Garden, the big one, 25,600 subscribers. Thanks, guys.